You know, in life, we all go through things. It's not always, sunshine and rainbows and all that stuff. So there are moments in your life where you will be struggling. Things may get difficult, very frustrating, absolutely mentally draining. I've been there. I've had some very dark times in the past, to the point of wanting to just end everything because I thought I'd be better off. However, with that said, I persevered. I reevaluated everything, thankfully, and I changed my perception, realizing that failure is not actually what we think it is. I don't look at it as being an actual failure. I look at it as another step in the learning process. You've just figured out what you did just did not work. So you need to find the next step to make sure that it does work. And this all ties back into photography. I have been on a quest for 5 years, like over 4 years, closer to five at least, of trying to capture an osprey catching a fish in the water. Every single time I have gone out, and I have gone out a lot trying to do this, every time I've gone out, it's either facing the wrong way or it's way too far off in the distance. There's way too much heat haze and the images just won't be sharp or anything like that. At the beginning, I was like, oh, it's just never going to happen. Not going to happen. But I just continued to push myself to go back out there and, try to find them and try again and again and again and again. And I finally was able to capture the image that I have been wanting to get. So, don't give up on yourself if your ideas didn't quite work or you had a plan, the plan didn't quite work the way you wanted it to. Don't give up. Just keep at it, keep going back out there, keep trying. You never know. Eventually, that shot will happen. And whatever else you're going through in life, just keep pushing forward. Eventually, things will turn around for you. Everything is about balance. The whole universe is balanced. With that said, you got to take negative. It's got to counteract with the positive. Everything is about balance, right? So, and I've thought back to all the previous things in my life, and I firmly do believe that that is actually the case. You just got to stick through it. So if you are having a lull or a struggle in your photography, can't quite get the image that you want, don't give up. Just keep heading out there. And here are the shots that I took. The settings were, you know what? I'll talk about the settings while I show the shots. So this first shot here was my first clue something was about to happen. As soon as I saw the dive, I took this one image and then just followed it until it hit the water. And I was just waited for it to start coming back up. And then I fired off a few shots there. And I picked the best ones out of that sequence. There was a lot of heat haze, so it was pretty difficult. And then I just kept following it along as it flew back towards me. I have the camera settings there on the bottom of each image, and I just kept firing, keeping in mind the smaller buffer of the K3 Mark III because I didn't want to run out of buffer. I wanted to make sure I still had enough ample time to actually get the shots. And these were not at 450, only because I wasn't sure exactly where it was going to go. And I know that the barrel is a bit stiff on the zoom for the DFA 150 450. So obviously I didn't want to be zoomed in so much that I would have to then try to turn the barrel to zoom back out again. Because as I said, it is a stiff zoom ring, and it's not the easiest thing to be zooming in and out with. It's unfortunately not the smoothest of operations. So just to keep things in mind, and I figured I would just crop in post, which I did. As you can see here, I'm showing the before crop and after crop images, which also does highlight the strength of the DFA 150/450 in regards to its resolving power. Yeah, so these are pretty much the shots that I got. I just used AFC, I used stability mode, and then I did actually switch over to trackability mode. I started off with stability mode just when I saw the osprey flying in the sky. I wasn't actually diving to catch any fish, but then I thought about it and figured, you know what, let me switch from that over to trackability mode, just to ensure that I can nail those split-second things. And I just used select medium, so it's focusing solely on the center autofocus point, and I had it in type 3, so it's absolutely doing its best to absolutely nail that depth focus point. So those were the settings that I used, and obviously TAV mode, and I showed the parameters on each image, and that's pretty much it. So again, even if you're having a lull, or you've gone out, you've tried to do a bunch of different shots and stuff, and you don't feel like it's really working out, just don't give up on yourself. It ain't your fault. It's all about perspective and how you look at things, right? Even through those dark times in my life, I just changed my perception of how I viewed everything. Instead of just giving up, which thankfully I didn't, or I wouldn't be here. I just realized that everything's a learning experience, right? If it doesn't work, you've just figured out a way that it doesn't work, right? So you just shift your mind into trying again with a different way of going about doing it, right? Life is all about multi-step processes and things like that, and that applies to everything, including photography. But anyway, this is not a philosophy channel. Ooh, maybe I could turn it into one. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you. But anyway, thank you again for watching if you made it all the way to the end. And that's going to be it. I will catch you on the next video. I'm out.